Individually, we are one drop. Together, we are an ocean. Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. It's Tuesday, the 24th day of September. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Coming up in today's show, broom makers showcase how they are preserving the craft and keeping their culture alive. We'll have that and more, but first, the news is after the break.
Event of a natural disaster, the Jamaica Fire Brigade is ready to fire up the engine. The aim? To save lives. One of several government entities that are equipped and ready to tackle emergency situations. It's a go for these hardworking men and women when disaster strikes.
We are in the best place we have ever been in our history in terms of our state of readiness. We have a full complement of just about 2,000 members.
During a natural disaster, the Jamaica Fire Brigade offers critical services, including search and rescue operations, evacuation support, fire suppression, and emergency medical supplies. They also coordinate with other agencies to ensure timely response and community safety.
Our firefighters are on standby.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, September 24, 2024. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness updated the Jamaican diaspora in New York on significant long-term investments being undertaken by the government to improve the country's road infrastructure. Dr. Holness asserted that Jamaica's stable economic performance has been pivotal in facilitating investments in critical infrastructure. He was addressing a diaspora town hall in New York on Saturday.
Going forward, the government is making the commitment with the budgetary allocations from our economic performance to build new roads, improve those roads, and to maintain them. It's going to be a 20-year journey for us to get all our roads into the conditions where we can drive in comfort on all of them, to remove the potholes and the eroded surfaces. So I'm not here to tell you that by a snap of the finger, all of that is going to be done. But for the first time, we are in a position that we can project to be able to do this. And that's the difference between then and now.
Dr. Holness assured the diaspora that for the first time in history, the country is financially able to carry out major infrastructure development. He highlighted the $40 billion Spark program now underway to improve roads across the island, the 5% low unemployment rate, stable inflation rate of below 6%, as well as a stable foreign exchange rate. Prime Minister Holness also emphasized the important role the diaspora plays in growing the economy.
So I can tell you that I know with the economy as it is, for 20 years we can make the investments in roads, or in healthcare, or in education, or in security, with stable revenues. But I can tell you one more thing. With stable revenues, we don't have to tax you.
Still in New York, Prime Minister Holness assured world leaders that Jamaica's economic resilience is due to government's firm commitment to fiscal discipline. Dr. Holness said the country's development program, guided by the IMF and World Bank, has put Jamaica on a sustainable fiscal path. Speaking during a plenary session at the UN Summit of the Future, the Prime Minister reflected on the post-COVID-19 recovery efforts.
The COVID pandemic would have set us back. But within the fiscal program,
we built in resilience. So we ensured that our economy was able to respond to shocks. And we were able to respond to the COVID pandemic and the subsequent shocks that followed. So I think that Jamaica could be cited as an example of a country that maintained fiscal discipline, built in buffers, and took the necessary steps to build resilience in its economy to be able to respond to unexpected crises and shocks.
Looking to the future, Dr. Holness called on the multilateral financial system to adopt a supportive stance as developing countries strive to achieve their sustainable development goals.
I believe that the multilateral financial system has a role to play in taking a very forward-leaning posture in ensuring that the global financial architecture is supportive of countries like Jamaica that have made the sacrifice, that are putting in the efforts to ensure that that sacrifice and effort results in growth.
Jamaica on Monday participated in the commemorative ceremony of the 30th anniversary of UNESCO's Roots of Enslaved Peoples program. The event, which seeks to honor the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade, was held at the Ark of Return under the theme, Acknowledge the Tragedy, Consider the Legacy, Lest We Forget. During his presentation, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness called the transatlantic slave trade one of the greatest atrocities in history.
History is replete with accounts of horrific atrocities experienced by enslaved Africans in the 400 years of the transatlantic slave trade. Yet, through their own action and great sacrifice, our ancestors emerged as heroes, passing on to their descendants the dignity, integrity, and resilience with which they became masters of their own destinies.
Prime Minister Holness shared Jamaica's unwavering support for reparatory justice, as well as the proclamation of the Second International Decade for People of African Descent. He also committed to working with long-standing partners to bring these initiatives to fruition. Back in Jamaica, 5 families' standard of living has changed for the better when they received keys to brand new houses under the new social housing program, NSHP. 3 3-bedroom units were delivered to Craig Bailey, Jolene Grant, and Shauna K. Beach, while Shelley Ann Byfield was given a 1-bedroom unit. The recipients all reside in the constituency of Northeast St. Catherine. Meanwhile, Rosemary Johnson of Southeast St. Catherine received keys to a 3-bedroom unit which was built on land in St. Mary. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness made the presentation last Thursday before leaving for New York. He said the government is being very systematic in how it deals with poverty in Jamaica. He said the goal is to raise the standard of living for the most vulnerable by providing safe and convenient places of dwelling.
The government's intention is to ensure that we have sufficient programs to help, especially the absolute poor in our country. So today, we can say that we have lifted a family out of absolute poverty.
And finally, 23 additional post offices will undergo significant upgrade as part of the government's broader plan to modernize Jamaica's postal network. The upgrades are being executed under the National Identification System (NIDS) project and will take place over the next 8 months. Minister with responsibility for skills and digital transformation, Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, says the modernization process aims to expand the post office network and enhance the services provided to communities across the island.
They will serve as digital access hubs, providing free or low-cost internet connectivity, computers, and access to digital public services and essential online personal services such as bill payment. Most of our people do not have cheap internet access. That's the reality. And while we work at building out our broadband infrastructure, which is currently being done right now, we believe that the post office can help to bridge that gap that we have.
Minister Morris-Dixon was speaking at the newly renovated Ligonier Post Office at the Ligonier Post Mall in St. Andrew last week. The modernization includes modern counters, additional computers, commercial service upgrades, updated branding, and signage. The minister said post offices must become logistics centers to meet the demands of a digital society. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Using local materials, a community of craftspeople are continuing the tradition of creating thatch brooms by hand. It's their source of income and is also their way of preserving an aspect of Jamaica's culture. Let's take a look.
Up on your feet and clean up the mess. Yes, look so dirty and you start forest. Who no look ya know.
This is O'Shane Mambe. Most people call him Jadon. He's a recording artist and Broom Ambassador. Yes, you heard right, a Broom Ambassador who hails from a family of broom makers. We met him at Grace Food Festival on the grounds of Hope Gardens in August 2024. And impressed with his broom jewelry line, we had to learn more of the driving force behind his creativity.
So brooming was very unexpected. During the pandemic, Jadon released his debut album, 369, and he went to South Florida to promote, and we were locked down. So he looked around and he saw some bull thatch in Palm Beach and decided to make his first broom, took a picture, put it on social media outside of Jamaica. And it was a wildfire of requests, people everywhere asking him to ship a Jamaican broom through the US mail. And he was just giving away brooms as a token to his fans during the pandemic.
By doing that, the demand was forwarding, for the product. And by being around the warriors that I was around in Florida, the song came forward, the Broomy song. A song came forward called Broomy. And by doing the Broomy song, we decided, say, you know what, the Broomy song was getting a lot of love. So we decided, say, you know what, let's take this to the next level. Because when I was in Florida, I realized something that I was looking for all of these years, and it's how to create that bond, to create that bond, honestly, to create more work for my community, because my community is a cottage industry. My community have something that is very unique.
It was after this brief interview and learning where he was from that we decided to meet some of the broom makers of Canaanites in Clarendon, a community that specializes in the making of thatch brooms. There we met Miss Daphne and Miss Janet, who have been making brooms for over 75 years, and Michael and Kenneth, broom makers for over 20 years. The brooms are made of thatch palm sourced from within the community and other parishes. It is held together with a stick, nails, and wires.
Me used to walk around, take bus and go town, come off a 6 mile, walk for 6 mile with it on my head, reach a Constant Spring. I walk for all downtown, go a Golden Spring and beat it on foot, come back down. But through me get up in the age now, I can't take it walking. So I just sell a mapping town. I just carry it out and lean up it and take them out 6 and walk around and sell. Yeah man, people buy man. Buy the dozen, some buy 2 dozen, some buy 3 dozen, 4 dozen, and it depends. I'll supermarket buy too. I sell them out of mapping town. I market there. But I stop selling broom and mapping, so tell me. I start make more. I got town. When I got town, I sell broom at $50 and $70 you get for one.
When?
Yes, long time now. And then I left and got Spanish town and start selling Spanish town. I got Spanish town, they know. So I can get $300 for one now, Spanish town. In our market, like when you walk, go out, you get 5 and then Monday. Everybody over here mostly can make broom, Everybody. Because I just broom, mostly I survival over here, so. The people, different from who when I work. You live a Canaanites, then give the place bad name. If you go to out, you go look at work, then give you from a Canaanite you come from.
I don't know, a survival, so you have to do it, you understand? And switch to now young and no badness and all and something that we just go and do it, you understand? Give thanks, work and go and see, you understand? Keep it out of trouble.
In Jamaican homes, traditional brooms have been used for generations, valued for their effectiveness and cultural importance. However, modern plastic brooms are now more common due to their durability and ease of maintenance, leading to a decline in the demand for traditional brooms.
These are original still, same way. Still have some people where nah, look at them on the same way, natural thing. Yeah, so. Still have room with 3 bills, 4 bills, all different price. The price not stable, you know? You have a man cheap and that, you have a man dear and that same. But as I say, that's survival, so you know, you don't give up, you still do things, you know?
I used to grow, we don't grow enough father, so we grow and learn for hustle. So we make broom and go up and sell. We alright. Can't go out of bed, nobody can wake you up, you see me? We gonna. So we just stick to it. We sell them by a dozen, 1, 2 dozen of them here. Then we sell a town and Spanish town. All over the world.
It's labor intensive.
Yeah, hard, yes, but if you put your mind to it, you reach where you want to reach, you see me? Sometimes all I can't do one time, you have to do some and leave some. Because I'm not trying to make for me them one day. Day by day, I do liquor.
Hurricane straps help keep your roof secure during heavy winds. Strappies advice: make sure your home is secure. Strap down your roofs to withstand the wailing winds of hurricanes and other major storms. Don't wait until it's too late.
It's a very simple thing. It is inexpensive and it doesn't require much technical know-how to do it.
Strap down your roof now. Save yourself a world of hurt later.
It's often said that children of a nation are its future. Conversely, a nation's progress is chronicled through its senior citizens. Seniors are the backbone and foundation of any successful society. It's on their work and achievements that we are building a brighter future for all our citizens. We want to continue to benefit from their contributions, and that's why we've compiled ways to engage and involve this invaluable segment of our society.
Did you know adults aged 60 years and older in Jamaica are called older adults?
Did you know that in some countries, one can be dubbed an older adult at age 50 or 65, depending on the laws of that country?
Have you heard? The world's population is aging. The World Health Organization has declared that by the year 2050, adults aged 60 years and older will number 2.1 billion.
Here in Jamaica,
older adults are the fastest growing segment of the population, moving from 6.7% in 1960 to 12.6% in 2015.
That's why it is very important that we incorporate our seniors in the decision-making process to give advice on social issues as well as benefit from their labor. To capitalize on this effort, the United Nations and the World Health Organization have declared 2020 to 2030 as the decade of healthy aging. This simply means giving older adults the opportunity to be and do things they value throughout their life, while being free of disease and infirmity. In Jamaica, the National Council for Senior Citizens has earmarked the last week in September annually as Senior Citizens Week. The last Sunday in September is observed as Grandparents' Day, and every year on October 1, the world celebrates International Day of Older Persons. We want to incorporate our seniors in all that we do. Here's how you can get involved and be an ally to them.
If you are a caregiver or a family member, remember, incorporate the older adult in the decision making. For example, what to eat or what to wear.
Utilize their help in situations. Remember, they have lived through many hardships. We have had world wars, we have had disease outbreaks. Utilize their help.
Familiarize yourself with issues related to older adults. For example, the terminologies. What is gerontology? Gerontology is the science and comprehensive study of older adults and the issues concerning them. Healthy aging and good health is not just the absence of disease. However, it requires an opportunity for older adults to be active, to enjoy the things that they've always enjoyed doing, break the intergenerational gap. Seniors would love to be able to talk to you and have you listen to them.
Volunteer your time to seniors, be it in an old age home or an infirmary. Carve out some time to spend with an older family member.
Older adults have a sexual appetite. Don't discriminate.
Remember, seniors are adults. Don't treat them like a child. Don't abuse them.
Ask yourself the question, what can I do for an older adult today? Researchers. Studies show that most research do not involve older persons. Community leaders. Be an advocate for the older person in your community today. See to it that they are prepared for the social activities so they can go out and be participatory in what's happening in the community. Young people, what can you do? Just be there, be present, listen to their stories. Teach them the newer technologies that will allow them to communicate and stay in touch with family and friends that are far away. Just be there. Be available for our older adults today.
Seniors are our portal to the past, a guide to the future, and most important, a resource in the present. They are an invaluable part of our society. Let's treat them with the respect and love they deserve. For more information on Senior Citizens Week and how you can be a part of an older adult's life, call the National Council for Senior Citizens at 876-906-9277.
Persons can now make payment of their police record through Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ's mobile app found on the Google Play Store.
It's a ABC123. Very easy for you to follow the steps in making your payments. Once that is done, the application will actually send you a notification to say that you have successfully done your transaction. And then following that, you will actually get what we call, you'll actually get two notices. You'll actually get one from your bank, from the application to say that your bank transaction has been completed. And then the second one that you'll get is from Tax Administration's application now, which will say that you have been successful, and you'll actually get what we call a statement of payment with a reference number on it, and that's the reference number that you will use here forward.
Signing up is free and is currently available on Android phones and tablets.
My name is Kinson Case, and I'm the Senior Director for the Projects, Technical Services and Housing Branch. What my branch does is to execute projects for and on behalf of the ministry. So we facilitate the execution of greenfield and brownfield projects. This includes the installation of infrastructure, construction of housing units, making land ready for sale. Okay, so when we speak about national development, we have to tie it back into sustainable development. So we are tied to the Sustainable Development Goal 11, which says that we're making cities resilient, safe, and sustainable. So we provide access to affordable housing, and we also upgrade services and improve slum conditions. Well, Jamaicans benefit a lot. For example, we're doing a project right now at 85 and 85.5 Radius Road, and that includes upgrading of the road infrastructure, the facilitation of an improved water connection, because right now some residents don't have access to potable water. So we are trying to facilitate that, and also legal electricity connection through the installation of an electrical distribution system. So that is how Jamaicans benefit from our services. So we have two major projects that we intend on executing this year. One is the Reddies Road project that I just spoke about, which will facilitate the regularization of that particular area and allow individuals to get their titles. And also the Spicy Grove project, which is a project in St. Mary, another regularization project. We will be doing installation of infrastructure, installation of an electrical distribution system, and also installation of a water distribution system. We also have government schemes that we'll be continuously maintaining, ensuring that they're in tip-top shape for the residents who occupy them. Torrington Park Housing Scheme is one such project. We'll be doing some refurbishing there. And we also have the Wilton Gardens Scheme that will also be doing some refurbishing works there. So those are our major projects that we have planned. However, there's more to come, because we also facilitate the access to affordable housing by the provision of housing solutions. And we have some really nice projects to roll out in the 25-26 financial year. That is the Lee Park project. We also have the Albion Heights project that we're going to be doing, which facilitates the construction of units. So those are some of the projects that we're looking to execute. The government of Jamaica, through the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, is making cities and human settlements safe, resilient, and sustainable for you.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Remember, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Do join us again tomorrow for another informative show. Remember to visit our website, gis.gov.jm, for more news UK news. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.